So we've come to the conclusion of this series. So like, subscribe, and share all the videos. And let's just jump into this. So
Everything about
Oh,
Pokemon
Blue
after that.
is your first introduction, which is Gen 1. What are the other gens you've dabbled with?
So I did Blue, then I did I think Pokemon trading card game was before Gold and Silver, I believe. I'm not sure, but I had that as well because you got the Meowth promo card free with that game. Do you remember that GTO or not?
I don't think
at that time, I was boycotting Pokemon, so I don't have that nostalgic experience you have. But I know the
Well,
trading card
I
game was
was
around for way
the
long.
trading cards game is
yeah
still on the 3DS. They still
yeah.
have
But
one
so
until recently.
that it was like Pokemon, but not like you couldn't like
Oh
run
no, no, no,
around
wait.
freely.
No, no.
Like
They shifted that to a mobile platform. They have a trading card game on the mobile platform now.
all right.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first got it, like, yes, another Pokemon. But it was like you walked around a little bit, and then you went to like these different sort of like it would teleport you into like a hub, like a town, and then you just battle with the trading cards. That was kind of. It wasn't really like that whole RPG exploration experience, but
Right, right.
I was banging into Pokemon cards, and I knew you got the promo Meowth included in the box. That was like basically the reason I got it. But yeah, I didn't play that game as much. Then I got Gold after that, and I love Gold. Gold was really good. I played it a load of times since then. Blue, I don't think I've played Blue or Red or Yellow again since that because I literally put that much time into that game at
But,
that
but
time that I can't go back. You know, like I can't
you've
do it again.
played
But I
Yellow
did it again
again.
in Let's Go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it in Let's Go, but that was a whole new aesthetic and a different mechanics and extra new things and stuff. But I couldn't go back to Blue,
And you've got all
original
53 of
Game Boy.
them
In
on
that,
Let's Go.
yeah, I couldn't go and do that. But yeah, Let's Go I did to death as well, and I finished that Pokédex in there.
Right.
Gold I really liked though, yeah. Gold I really liked.
Did
And I
you
liked
did
some
you
of
play
the
Crystal?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
But I remember when Gold first came out, one of the key selling points for me was from watching the anime was Togepi was introduced in the
Oh
anime
yeah.
before Gold came out, yeah? So I was like, why is there another Pokemon? I thought it was only supposed to be 152. And it's like, now we have Togepi? And I was like, shit. And then Gold was coming out. I was like, you can get Togepi in Gold. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember getting that egg originally, like, yes. I was walking around because like you have to walk so many steps.
We're using a bike.
So many, yeah, you get so many steps before it hatches, and then I think even in Gold, I still didn't even know you could cancel the evolutions because I hate that Togechiku or whatever it's called, the evolution of Togepi. I hate it.
Which one?
Just
the,
like
the
visually.
final or the middle one?
The middle one.
Oh, Togekiss though, the third one. That Togekiss
Yeah.
kicks ass.
But
Right.
no, I just hate the look of it. I just love Togepi and that Toki, you know yeah.
Kind of like the Poke Walker called the Dream Radar that lets you get Pokemon. So because Black and White 2 came out, Raid as a 3DS came
Yes.
out, and it encouraged people to use both consoles, which is great because you play both versions, you trade to yourself.
GTO, which was the one that had that stupid Pokemon that was your Pokedex that always kept going and trying to talk to you all the fucking time?
Oh, that's Gen 7, the most recent one. I freaking love Sun and Moon. Yeah,
I know, but I hate that Pokedex that like it is a Pokemon itself, and
it's
it
just
talks to you.
it's just a Rotom, man. Wrote that, and then due to the lore, Rotom can turn into whatever the hell it wants to, as long as it's electric. But yeah,
I know, but it's
it does get a bit annoying. I mean, luckily it's just some text scrolling.
And one
shit.
other thing I hate is like when they say like, "Oh, look over here and use your thing to look," and it's like, what am I fucking looking at? That was just like a bit pointless. Like, oh, you see the thing, great, or like a clue or some hidden thing that you see, and you end up getting like a potion or something. Like, okay, great. Like, I don't want to look there.
Like, God damn it, I wanted a rare candy. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I'd like to just again see I put a lot of work into understanding Pokemon after I played Let's Go. Again, I haven't finished the Pokedex on Let's Go. I guess I've done 79. Still have another
Well, yeah,
like
you're halfway.
less than halfway, like close to about halfway. But I stopped at 79 because I'd already done the Elite Four twice because I wanted to get all the TMs here being for the listeners, there are actually action moves that you can equip to your Pokemon.
Technical machines.
Well, it's a disc.
Yeah.
It's shown as a disc. You can load into your Pokeball, and it learns a particular move, which can give attacking abilities, defensive abilities, sleep abilities, depending on the Pokemon type. What you can, like. So
Yeah, they're only
we
compatible with certain
yeah
Pokemon.
we
use them
already went
once
over
they're
the types
gone.
as well.
Yeah.
We went over
And
the
HM is what, hidden machine GTO?
Hidden,
Yeah,
yeah,
hidden
hidden,
machine.
hidden move,
Yeah.
hidden move.
Hidden move. Oh, right, okay.
and there are about
And those
18 of
you can
them.
use as many times as you want. No, it's like
There's
5 or 6
cut,
usually. 6.
fly, surf.
Then there's like
rock,
waterfall, rock climb, rock
Oh wait,
smash.
rock
HMs
smash.
are the
Yeah,
ones that help you push rocks, surf
Yeah.
in Let's Go.
Yeah,
Are
like-
those? Are
Yes,
they
those
help you
okay? Yeah.
progress. They help you progress through the
Okay,
game, get
okay,
to
okay,
different
okay.
areas.
Since
and
we're
stuff,
talking
yeah.
about these different things that were added to different games, the only experience I have is from Let's Go, but I have it here written down in terms of.
Oh wait, I've got one quick question. This is like the biggest question of all.
Yeah,
Gen 1. So let's go as well as like red, blue, and yellow. Who's your starter?
Gen 1 in Let's
Yeah.
Go.
And let's go. It's the same gen. So who's your starter? Who is your starter?
Well, and Let's Go, you're forced with either Pikachu or Eevee as a starter. But are you
Oh yeah.
if you're
Sorry.
yeah.
Fuck. Let's go. I mean, original.
You're talking
Who's
about
your starter?
Bulbasaur,
Red-
Squirtle, or
Squirtle,
Charmander.
Bulbasaur,
Charmander, yeah.
or Charmander.
Charmander. Yeah. Who's your starter? I'll tell you mine
Who
first.
who did I choose?
Bulbasaur.
Yeah,
Nobody likes.
I'm Charmander.
Nobody gives any love to Bulbasaur. Nobody gives any love to him. They all love Charmander. They all love Squirtle. Bulbasaur, I picked from the start, and I still love him as my favorite Pokemon ever. Bulbasaur.
Doesn't
But
he
do you love
evolve
Venus-
faster
do you
than
love
Charmander?
Venusaur?
I fucking hate Venusaur. He's a
Just
big, fat, ugly motherfucker.
big fucking
but
tree.
he's but by the time he's Venusaur, he's leveled up to hell. He's got some great fucking moves. I keep him in my team all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, the other two, Blastoise and Charizard, they really got to win on that one. Like Venusaur, I'm like, what the fuck happened to Bulbasaur, man? It's just not, it's not right. It's like all pink and shit. He's got like all this dead weight on his back. You know, like Blastoise got cannons growing out his side. Charizard's fucking blazing shit with his fire. Venusaur, he's like, I got a tree.
And like you can do the elite four without a grass type, but you need at least a fire type and a water type or an ice type. You know what I mean? But grass type you can kind of leave. Yeah.
No, I did this with Let's Go. I bought them twice just so that I can buy the I think number 48 and number 27 TMs, which are like 100,000, whatever the money's called, each. So I didn't have enough money to buy them.
Solar Beam.
Yeah, I fought them with
Hyper Beam.
all types. The only one that I used the most was Eevee, because I have Let's Go Eevee, and I played it in hard mode, bitch.
I know, but that Eevee is like bumped up to shit. Can learn the water moves, the fire moves, the
that's
grass
true
moves,
too.
and
But
everything.
I used to have
Standard Eevee couldn't learn those moves. You'd have to
couldn't
make
learn
it
that.
like a Jolteon or a Vaporeon
But
or whatever.
see, that's what I'm saying. My Let's Go experience is all I actually know by myself in my own experience, and it was a beautiful looking game for me.
I loved it. I really liked it. I might get it again because I might get it for my wife. Like it was with Chinese, like the Chinese version, because the one I had was a European version.
Yeah,
Didn't have any Chinese. But if I get the Chinese one, still got English as well, so we can both still play it like separately.
Yeah.
Well, you can play it together.
I'm thinking about
my
Eevee.
team-
I'm like Eevee's just normal. It has no type. The whole purpose of Eevee in the first place was to evolve it into whatever type you wanted.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just thinking-
choose the type.
Yeah.
You give it
Okay,
a
okay, okay.
Stone or a Firestone or
here's-
whatever.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you guys off, but here's what we're going down now.
I wanted to
because
ask an Eevee question because after Gold,
can it wait?
I missed a lot.
Can we wait
But I'll
till
probably
we
forget
finish
it. I might
this
forget
because this is progressing towards something that I'm ooh, kitty cat.
Okay.
So
All right, you play with the cat. Play with the cat. 1 second. I'll ask GTO this. Eevee GTO, right? So
Yo.
obviously, originally he can be Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon, yeah.
Right.
But then in like Gen 3 or 4, they added like he can be dark and he can do steel and stuff. Like there's other Eevee evolutions now.
Yeah, there's like Leafeon and then Glaceon. My favorite, I mean, I think there's a total of 7 or 8 of them now. My favorite is like I think it's a fairy type Sylveon. And that was in Gen 7. I mean, it's like Eevee gets all like fruity looking and stuff, and then just
He
like
gets all
screws, yeah,
camp and
screw,
fairyish, like ooh.
screws you over with this fucking powerful, like oh man, I'm telling you, it's just like Eevee is like, I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, why the hell hasn't there been another Pokemon that can evolve into like 8 different things? Like, I mean, like, and then it got to the point where Eevee didn't even need certain stones to evolve, but you had to stand by certain static stones that were in the environment. Like, if you want to make a Glaceon, you got to go find an ice stone that's sticking out of the ground and evolve it while you're standing next to the goddamn stone in order for it to become. I mean, it was much easier when you can just actually give it a stone. So, but that's half the fun of it.
All right. So here's the segue now. So
Make the
we've
hold on, make the
discussed.
segue. I'm gonna go take my break real quick. I'll be back 60
Right.
seconds.
So, Mark, this will be a good way I
Yes.
can get you up to speed. So we got through the news. We talked a little bit about the news. We went through every single Gen title release, but no spin-offs. We've not even talked about any of the animes or the movies. We went and dissected a little bit of each gen, but here's where I'm gonna go in and read certain things that I have researched. And again, I personally don't know, and this is what I'm trying to do here, trying to know if any of this is true and missed out on any of the information on any of these gen titles. So Gen 1 that includes red, blue, green, yellow, irrespective of where it was made or whether it was localized and so on and so forth. In Gen 1,
Yeah.
you could have Pokemon battling and evolution of Pokemon. Was there anything else that you could do in that?
In what way? What do you mean?
In the sense that
No,
was
there was no items, there was no
right,
clothing.
right. In Gen 2, they added special defensives,
Items.
special attack stats, experience bars, Pokemon eggs, evolution through happiness, gender, and
Yeah,
breeding
genders, yeah.
and daycare.
They had a daycare in Gen 1, but the daycare in Gen 2, you could use the daycare to breed and make eggs as well.
Right, so Gen 1 did have a daycare. Okay. Gen 3 gave them
Hold on,
abilities.
hold on. You could also trade items from Gen 2 down to Gen 1, I believe, and get them
Right,
in
but that
yellow.
was with the link up card, right? Like the link up wire on the Game Boy.
Yeah, the link cable,
Yeah.
yeah.
The link
So you
cable.
couldn't
So
obtain them in the game, but there was still interactivity. Yeah.
That's how you had to
Okay.
do everything though, Bruce, back then. You had to have a
right,
link
right, right.
cable
No,
to
I'm, I'm,
fight,
I'm,
to
I'm just,
trade, to do
I'm
all
just
that.
clarifying for the listeners who are maybe probably just introduced to Let's Go only at
Poké
this point.
noobs. We call
Yeah.
them Poké noobs, Bruce.
Well, I'm a Pokénoob then. Right. Gen
Yeah.
3 gave
So was
us
I.
abilities which I'm not aware. I haven't actually didn't write it down, but I'm guessing abilities to evolve and also like mega evolve. I guess.
Well, you can
No,
And
evolve in all the other ones, but Mega Evolves came
that was
in
Gen
Gen
6.
4, I think. Oh,
I
6, is
thought
it?
6. Yeah, it was an X and Y, I thought. Yeah.
okay,
Or was
but
it before
double
that?
battles.
I don't know.
No, because you had a Steelix, didn't you? That was like not a Mega Evolution, but they added an extra evolution kind of thing, yeah?
Yeah, but that was just that counts as a separate Pokemon in the Pokedex.
Really?
Yeah, Mega Evolutions don't count. They're just one move, once and done. But yeah,
But I thought it was Onyx and Steelix.
Steelix, no, Steelix is a completely separate Pokemon. Doesn't evolve from anything. Needs to be caught.
Ah.
But no, Steelix. I mean, you kind of he's a. What I meant to say is he's a permanent Pokemon. Like Mega
Yeah.
Evolved Pokemon aren't. What
Yeah,
Generation
Mega
3 added was
just within the fight, yeah.
Generation 3 added Space Pokemon and a shit ton of water.
And also
Right.
in Generation 2 they added some extra evolutions though, because Pikachu had a Pichu beforehand and there was all these things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
So and Clefairy was like a, what was it before that again?
Cleffa.
Cleffa, yeah. So they added like some baby Pokemon. That's the word I'm looking for. baby Pokemon. Some of them got baby Pokemon like iterations like before what they were, like prequel evolutions, if you will.
Like
Okay.
a Marill.
Pre-evolutions.
Marill.
Moving on to
Pre-evolutions.
Gen 4 then. They were physical and special splits. Explain that to our listeners. Evolution through certain moves and a Pokemon following you while you were moving around.
Well, that wasn't Gen 4. That was a remake of Gen 2. The only one that they could follow you around in, which was where we got the Let's Go idea, was Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And in that game, they had the Pokewalker, which was like the Pokeball. And when you used it and connected it to the game, it actually played the same music you get
But
when you
you
connect
could
the Pokeball.
have Pikachu follow you in the
Not in the
yellow.
core Gen 4 games. Yeah,
No, but
yellow, yes.
Yellow
But
and
not in Diamond, and Pearl and Platinum. No.
okay. Gen 5, hidden abilities, triple battles, rotation battles, shaking grass,
Rotation
rippling
battles,
water,
yeah.
dust spots. TMs can be used multiple times instead of once. Moving Pokemon battle sprites.
Yeah, a lot of that died with Gen 5.
Right.
Rippling water. Yeah, there's like only one fishing rod. You got it at the end of the game. Like, so you couldn't even go fishing until you beat the Elite Four. At that point, you're like, you either had everything or you're like going after a little rippling piece of water trying to catch a fucking Phoebus or something.
I always have a dream of a new Pokemon where when you cast the rod in, it becomes like Sega bass fishing, and it's like really detailed underwater. That would just be amazing. When you could see the polywhirls like swimming towards you, and you're shaking the rod, like trying to catch like the light on your fly, trying to attract them, and like really in-depth fishing mechanic added to that game would be fucking awesome. Like I love the fishing mechanic in Ocarina of Time. Wasn't quite Sega bass fishing, but it was still fucking good.
Well, if you want to talk about what Gen 5 added, what Gen 5 added for the first time was the first semblance of our 3D world. The biggest city in Gen 5, which would Castelia City, which is like a Manhattan, was the first 3D rendered angle-changing city ever in the series, and it's still considered to be like the largest city in the series. The big graphical difference from Gen 5 to Gen 4, which are both on a DS, was huge. It was almost like a different console.
Quickly moving on to Gen 6 then, and then a little bit of a speculation for Shield and Sword.
Sword, yeah. Pokemon Pork Sword. And,
and Gun?
Pokemon,
was that the meme? Gun?
Fairy Shield.
Some Mexican newspaper actually got confused and said
wrote,
that there was a Gun version.
True.
That cracked me up.
Yeah, it became a huge thing on the internet as well. Anyways,
I thought they were going to do Pokemon Gringo and Pokemon Jalapeno over there.
A lot of these second games in a generation, like 5 was the only one that had sequels to this day, official sequels, and a lot of times the second games that come out add new legendaries. So there's always an incentive to keep buying. Gen 6, Mega
Evolution, Sky Battles, Horde Battles, Inverse Battles, Soaring, Wonder Trade, Super Training, Pokemon Anime, O-Power, DexNav, NewsNav, riding on a Pokemon. Now, I know some of these things, like riding on a Pokemon. I know what
I thought you said writing on a Pokemon. I was like, what, you can tattoo the fucking Pokemon?
I meant riding.
You forgot music videos. You forgot music videos and photos. Oh.
Yo, photos, yeah. Photos were there in Gen 7, Gen 6.
There was so much shit to do in Generation 6 and N7 that had nothing to do with the game. It's like,
yeah.
I'm going to brush my Pokemon and feed it some fucking Pokepuffs.
That was the worst thing in the world, brushing and cleaning your fucking Pokemon.
And then we're going to go play and make a music video. I spent 15 hours doing it. I'm sorry, I did.
You know what they should have done, which would have sold a lot, right? Take Nintendogs, but with Pokemon. That would sell a fucking ton, wouldn't it? Like a Tamagotchi Pokemon, like Nintendogs. It runs towards you like, Pika, Pika. You stroke it, you take it for a walk, you give it some food, you do all that shit. Nintendogs was great at the time. And
yeah,
Pokemon
it was.
Yeah, instead they gave you the Pokeball where instead of giving it some food, you smash it against a fucking wall. And it's like, thank you!
Nintendogs had that Tachikomi kind of vibe to it. It did.
Tamagotchi, yeah.
Tachikomi, sorry. Tamagotchi.
Don't forget the cats.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Nintendogs
very quickly
twats
before we get into
is what
20
I call
questions, I want 1 to 2 sentences about
You forgot Gen 7. There's a lot to talk about. They added the Z moves.
Oh, okay.
And they
GTO,
took
take it
they
away.
added trials. They
But
they
when the
added
Z moves basically like Mega Evolution, I think.
except what was it? Was a competition for Yokai Watch. So you have like a little thing, and in Mega Evolution you could use with any kind of move that you had currently equipped. And a Mega Evolution was more about like your Pokemon got bigger and things just got powerful. But
Yeah,
Z
the Z move,
moves,
you had to choose that specific move, yeah.
yeah, and
And they
some of
they
them were
reacted to
totally
some.
badass. Some of them
Yeah.
were really hard to get. Like you could only use it as a Z move, and like it was like your trump card, like at the end of the battle. It was amazing shit. But anyway,
What else did
I
it
love
get?
Gen 7. And Ultra Beasts. Ultra Beasts were added in Gen 7 too, a new kind of Pokemon that was never discussed in any other gen. Like
Right.
from another dimension and time and space. You know, going back to the mythos you mentioned earlier, Bruce.
Right, absolutely. So, see, the reason why I didn't mention Gen 7 is because we are going to see much of that come into Gen 8. I just want us to maybe speculate very quickly because we want to do 20 questions Pokemon edition for this episode. I want Mark, what do you think is going to be in this generation, and what do you want to have a part of this generation?
What do I think? Well, there was a bit of talk in one of the WeChat groups about like, oh, you're gonna put armor on your fucking Pokemon and give them weapons and shit. I was like, no, that's not gonna be what's have a sword and shield. I was like, just because it's sword and shield doesn't mean they're gonna give them swords and shields.
Yeah,
Red and
no way.
blue. Red and blue didn't mean they're all fucking red or all fucking blue. You know what I mean? And I even said this to the guy. I said that to the guy, and he was like, oh yeah, I know what you mean.
But here's the
But,
thing: the
I
4chan,
almost choked on my shit.
the 4chan, the 4chan anonymous Reddit post, whatever that was, it predicted every single thing. So the 26th was the direct, and on the 22nd February, he said it's gonna be in England. It's gonna have this is the name of the location, and he said there's gonna be armored Pokemon. So I don't think it's gonna be cosmetic if they have it.
Mhm.
And then you choose your first Pokemon, and it's like, is that really your name? And you're like, yep, that's really my fucking name. And it's like, and what class are you? Do you prefer attacking-minded moves or defensive-minded, like counter-attack moves? And you choose that, and there might be some buff that you get if you choose that style and use those kind of moves. You might get more XP, and that's basically what I think it's going to be.
Yeah,
And if you
it
choose,
could be like Mega Evolution in Z Stones. You know, like armor.
Yeah, and that
4.
could-
No. I'm
and there could
I'm
be
going to
there could be
argue they're
different
moving away from that.
legendaries- There could be different legendaries based on the sword and shield. So if you say, oh, I'm an attacking Pokemon battler,
But isn't that
then that like
typical of every Pokemon generation? You have two games which have two different kind of legendaries, and then
well, no,
game
because
specific
in the
Pokemon.
in Gen 1, the legendaries were available for everybody. It doesn't matter what Pokemon you chose. There's always Moltres. Yeah.
Okay.
So like the
Those
legendaries
goddamn
weren't,
roamers. Oh, roamers suck.
they weren't really dependent on who you chose and how you played the game. I'm not sure how it went on later on. Maybe it was different. You could choose between one or two. Yeah, I think it was like that. Yeah, I remember in Gen 3, I think you either got that big fucking whale thing or you got, what was it called? Kyro?
Kyogre.
Yeah, Kyogre.
Or Groudon and Kyogre.
Yeah, but you could only get one of the two. You couldn't get them both, could you?
Yeah, no. Usually they would release a third version where you could get them both, like Platinum for Diamond and Pearl. You could get Palkia and Dialga, or like
Yeah.
But for Black and White, they fucked us over because then they made a Black 2 and a White 2, and you still couldn't get like a Reshiram and the other one in one version. So like it's
What
like
they called there's a Pokemon called Restaurant.
no Reshiram and Kyurem, the Black and
okay, I
White
was like,
legendary.
Hey, I just caught a restaurant. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
what is it? Pizza Hut? No. KFC.
And then
Damn it.
they did that too in Gen 7 where like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon you still couldn't get like Solgaleo and Lunala. And then in Gen 6 they just fucked us over because it was Gen 6 only lasted like a year.
All right, now
So-
guys, you're just throwing names out there, and only hardcore fans can follow you. I'm totally out of loop here. I know the Pokemon by how they look.
enough,
I don't know
fair
their
enough,
names,
fair enough.
but I'm gonna pose the same question. Oh wait, Mark, you never answered. What do you want?
What do I want? Well, I wanted visible Pokemon in the wild, which we're not going to get at the moment. But like GTO was saying in the group the other day, the devs are probably working super hard now that everyone complained that that's not the case to try and fit that in. But that was one thing I really wanted.
So
I wanted a bit more of an
You
open
wanted
world.
the Let's Go
less-
mechanism to get into the Gen 8 and make that like a standard thing that you can choose which Pokemon you want to fight in the wild.
Yeah, I also wanted a less gated world where like there's barriers, you know, like all the Pokemon games have always had these barriers, and like you can't go there. Like
Unless
everyone's
you have
talking
the
about how
cup of tea
beautiful.
to open that. I get it. I get
Yeah,
it.
you wake up that Snorlax, or
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
whatever, you buy a ticket for that train or boat or
Sure,
whatever.
sure, sure, sure.
I wanted it a little bit more open. Like you always have those little like gates and walls and stuff, and you can see the distance, all these great places. Like I just want to go down there. What's down there? I wanted that, but it looks like they still got that sort of style where like you're
We don't know
blocked, you're
yet.
set on a
We don't
path.
know yet. We don't know yet. It's
From
just
the look of it,
okay.
you're on a certain path. You can only go a certain way.
I said
There's
this
no like
earlier.
total off-field.
I said this earlier. That is just game footage captured while someone was playing the game and then rendered into an advertisement. That is not actual gameplay. It has a disclaimer and it's also showing you clearly that it's just how the world looks in terms of graphics. I don't think any of that should be trusted in terms of what the story is going to be like. But that being said,
But I
GTO, this
think
one goes to you. What do you
I think you can
think?
tell by the look of it
Yeah,
when
no, I
sometimes
won't
you're
deny
running
that
forward.
there's some stuff that you can tell, but I'm not gonna go in with the idea that that's how it's gonna, unless E3 gives us gameplay like demo and shit like that. But
I will 1,000,000% say that it's going to be the same. You can tell by the camera angles, the fixed camera. Like you're moving and the camera's stuck there. You get to the corner of that screen, then the camera changes and you're running away.
we
The camera
didn't
changes and you're running towards
There,
we
it.
there
didn't
was a
know
scene
what
in the trailer though where there was a rotating room and they showed a character with rotating
rotating.
different
Yes,
rotating environments around it. But like we don't know what that is yet, so it's still speculation. Mark's
exactly,
right for the
and
most part. Mark's right for the most part, but like if those paths can take you everywhere you can possibly go, that's cool. But I think what he's talking about is like the barriers. Like, okay, I can't get to the second region of the region because
it's the
there's a
second town. You
train
can't
or
go from Route
yeah,
1 to
yeah.
Route 22 because even though Route 1 and Route 22 are actually joined together at that conjunction or I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. I get it. But I'm
There may be
saying
some
that
open areas, but I think it's going to be similar. Yeah.
no, you have to
Yeah, it will be
understand
the
this.
same.
You
Yeah.
have to understand this. All the previous gens had one joystick. Now you have two joysticks, the L and the R. There's so much more that can come into play with the L and the R now. You had D
Yeah, we'll have to
pads
see.
and one joystick. There's another joystick in play here. Are you really telling me Game Freak is not going to use the second joystick?
50-50. I
I
mean,
don't think so.
it could be used to shortcut things, but we don't know yet. We just don't
That's
know.
what I'm
And
saying.
I don't
I'm I,
yeah.
that's the only part where I'm saying 1,000,000% what I'm just telling Mark. No, there's
I
definitely
think
more.
just having two analog sticks doesn't mean that necessarily one of them's going to be used for panning the camera and one
I
is going to
know,
be used
but
for moving. You
there's
know.
got to be something new about this game, and I think they're gonna capitalize on that. All right. Anyways,
It's a mystery.
cutting
So
this
you're gonna ask me
into
what I want, right?
what do you want and what do you think is gonna happen. Let's start with the think.
All
If you
right.
want to add on something, add on. And what do you really want?
Okay, well, like most of what I want, I already saw. Like first and foremost, I wanted an actual core generation title that I could also play on TV, which this will be the first of. Second of all, in animations and movies, we've always seen these grand Pokemon battles in huge freaking arenas with thousands of
Hey,
people.
G2, I'm just going to jump in there. The Game Boy player, GameCube, you could play on the TV with your original cards.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
carry on.
But those weren't actually mainline Pokemon games.
Well, they were the only mainline games because they were only on handhelds.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean they
So
wouldn't be
no.
Gen.
He's saying there was a workaround to actually play them on the
Okay,
TV
yeah,
screen, and I
sure.
guess it would
Okay.
count. But this one's developed and gets a 40%
For with
processor
TV
upgrade.
in mind, yeah. It's made with TV in mind, yeah.
So what I'm seeing here with the gyms is what I wanted. Like usually you go to these gyms, right? You get these badges and you got to go through some puzzle, and then there's some person who like eternally lives at the end waiting for you. But this time it looks like you're going to be battling in front of like 40,000 people. If you look in the trailer, the spectators
Yeah,
are all there, and it looks completely badass. Now, the
very
final thing that I
reminiscent.
wanted.
I'm sorry, just wanted to add this. It's very reminiscent of the anime, the 1996 anime of Ash's journey towards going to fight in like really huge stadiums and battles. It gives that like nostalgic kick in there. I dig
Or
that
when they
too.
lost or when they lost 50% of their fan base for the anime when in the final battle his water type lost to a fucking Charizard. But anyway, the final thing that I really wanted that I saw was regions are always great and have a bit of diversity, but they've always been kind of like, just stuck within one frame, one kind of like, okay, here's your snow area, here's your desert area. What I saw here in this trailer is I like having a lot of cities. I'm glad gyms are back. What I saw was three huge towns that all seem to represent three different time periods based on a region. We have a town that looks like it has a Victorian feel, industrialized, kind of steampunk. We have a town that looks like a medieval castle. And then we have a town that looks like modern day London full of skyscrapers, and they all seem to be central hubs from straight down to top. And for me, it takes all the fantasy of different time periods and combines it into one to make a potentially much more versatile region.
I'm thinking, like, you're right. It's a culmination of these maps of different games, different areas, different regions. But here's what hit me with this game when it comes to the map aspect of it. As time has progressed, they've done a lot with different regions, and they've actually now defined what regions are connected in which way. Where's Kanto versus Aloha? Like, where are these regions placed? I know only these names because these are the only games I've actually played. So they've said the positioning of all these games, and the new region that's been added looks like a much more bigger, industrialized, heavy kind of Pokemon battle oriented major metro city kind of situation, right? And
Yeah, I
I'm
just want them to add the national Pokedex back in.
I'm gonna say
I
that
want
this is
transferring. I want transferring, bitch, from my 3DS, from Let's Go. I want to bring all of my 809 motherfuckers and all of my trading in there, and I want to create a little black market there in the GTS. Be like, yo, I got five. I actually have a shiny Mew. So like,
wow.
and I got a shiny Celebi, and I got multiples of each. I have like all of the things. I actually went into my Pokedex and put them all in numerical order from 1 to 809.
Which, by
And then
the
I
way,
got
Yeah, I saw
guys,
that.
the videos on Facebook, GTO's Pokedex is being aired on our Facebook page. You can just scroll down the page and you can check out GTO's whole Pokedex, all numbered on his 3DS. Well,
GTO,
as-
if you want to make some money, you could go back to my hometown. A lot of those kids that I sold those Mews to might still be in the Pokemon. and now they've got their own money. They don't even ask their parents anymore, you know?
right. We're going to be back next week with something even more special than Pokemon. Let's see you guys next week. Guys, I'm out.
All
one more-
right. We have
one more
lives
quick
too, so we're
thing.
dignified.
One more quick thing is, obviously the podcast is going to be a weekly show, but there might be other videos on the YouTube channel that are cropping up. Just little 10-minute things, little segments, like top threes, top fives, worst this, worst that, best this, best that. So keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I'm
Well,
doing
all
a
of it's going to be
Disney
announced
top
on the
three.
through the Facebook channel, so we're gonna have like a lot of that being discussed through the Facebook channel. So follow us.
Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah.
Absolutely, there's a lot happening. We're gonna be doing a lot more with this year, and thank you for tuning in, guys. You have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Peace out, everyone. Peace.
Cheers.
Pika.
Toki, toki.
Bye bye.